It really allows that connection with ourselves and our soft, vulnerable side inside of us. And slowly transition back to sitting up. Bring the knees together and find a moment in tabletop position. Stretch the right leg back. You can bend and extend it a couple times. Or maybe roll the foot out to bring the movement back in the joint and hip. And other side as well. Take some time for your knee to stretch it back. Maybe roll the foot around. And then come back, sitting on your heels for a moment, but bringing all the toes out to just give our foot a stretch. You can close your eyes and breathe into the sole of your foot. We don't stay too long here. We just want to breathe a minute into the opening of the feet. We spend so much time in shoes that the stretch is usually getting intense pretty quick, because we're not so used to feel that stretch in our daily life. Try to just stay present with it. And usually we can stay for a few more breaths than our mind tells us to. Take 3 more breaths here. And then slowly shift your weight to the front, come onto the tops of the feet, maybe tap them out on the mat. And then you can sit back and just go for a breath in the counter stretch. You can support with your hands, so you stretch the part in the front of the foot. And then exhale, release. We're going to go into a squat. For that, you can also use your pillow and support it under the heels. That feels sometimes really nice if you have a wall behind you. That's also an option to lean on it. But the goal is to let ourselves hang forward. So I like to have a pretty wide squat for that, to be able to stay a little longer. You can walk the hands forward in any position that feels good. Drop the head. And this used to be a quite natural position for our body, as we were not sitting so much in chairs and office places. Now we kind of unlearned how to be in this position and how to keep our ankle mobility and knee and hip mobility in such a good shape that we can be in these poses. Make sure the back of the head is relaxed, going from the occiput to the shoulder blades, the neck muscle. Let it relax. And your shoulders hang loose. Are you bringing the
tension that you feel in your hips into your jaw. Use every pose as a body scan where you go through your body from the toes to the head and just see what you feel, what you can find, what you can relax by bringing your focus of attention there. Soften in all these places that you find. And the softness in our body will transition to the softness in our mind. Surrender into that place of stillness, of inner peace. Take that space as your own refuge. Space where you can fill yourself up with all the energy that you need. No rushing around, just be. How deep is your breath? Stay with your inhale and exhale. Sometimes it's also nice to open the mouth slightly and find that exhale out of the mouth. Maybe gently move the head from side to side to relax the shoulders and the neck even more.
And slightly move your head up. You can bring the right hand down. We're just going to gentle side bend stretch. You can bring the left arm over the head or even the hand behind the head. Just 3 long breaths here. Relax the face. And we twist to the other side, left hand down, right arm up or elbow, whatever feels better to you. Exhale, find back to center and bring the hands down at the knees. Come all the way on your belly. And then place the hands under the forehead. Bend your knees 90 degrees so your heels are on top of your knees and make some big circles for your hips. And you should feel that traveling through your knee joint as well. And also change direction here. It's a really nice way to mobilize the joints and also bring relaxation into the lower back. And then bring your legs all the way back. You can keep the hands where they are, slide the right knee towards the right shoulder. And intentional, make sure like the right hip just grounds itself It's not a big stretch on the inner groin, but the longer you stay, the more your body allows itself to open in that place. If you feel like you want a deeper variation, you could come onto your forearms and integrate a back bend as well as Sphinx pose, but that's a little more intense for the lower back. So if you have any condition here, stay in the fully relaxed version. And wherever you are, make sure you can breathe. And in Yin Yoga, we have the time to really feel each pose fully. Sometimes when we go through a flow, we don't have enough space to adjust the pose to our needs. We're just staying focused on our breath. We can relax the whole nervous system. And if our nervous system is relaxed, our body is much more able to release tension. Because we don't put ourselves in a state of stress. Take 5 more deep breaths on this side. And gently slide the right leg back so we can switch to the other side. If you came onto your forearms, take a moment to come all the way down first and give your body a couple breaths to just arrive in this half frog pose. Slide the left knee as high towards the shoulders as you wish. So the right hip wants to stay grounded, and intentionally you want to bring that grounding sensation also on the left side, even though it might not be touching the ground. If you worked deeper on the other side, you can bring the forearms down so the elbows are in one line with the shoulders, so you can fully support yourself with your weight. See if there's any difference in comparison to the other side. Sometimes it's also just our perception that allows us to feel more on one side, since our left side is more connected to our emotional side and might bring up different things. At the end, our only task here is to stay present with the present moment, with the breath, with the needs of our body right now. If you feel thoughts arriving, use yourself as like a vessel where everything can just pass through without trying to hold on to it or being attached to it. Let it move through you. Use the inhale and exhale to guide it in and out of your body, of your mind. Take 5 more deep breaths on this side. If you came all the way up onto your forearms, make sure you come down before you slide the left leg down. And then you can just wiggle your hips a little bit from side to side to release some tension there. And then bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. And mostly the feet are not touching all the way to the floor. You can find a comfortable position for your head and neck. Rest the inner groin. The weight of the feet should be enough to give you a stretch here. If it's too much, you're also welcome to put a pillow underneath the feet, also underneath the belly. That also releases some tension. We don't stay too long in this pose, it's just a preparation for the next one. I really like to work with the floor. Just give my whole weight into the floor, into the earth. Trust gravity to do the work. Your body will bring you in the position that it can handle. Take 5 more long breaths here. And support yourself with the hands underneath the shoulders. You can bring one leg at a time back. Come all the way up into a tabletop position. Let's just go for some rounds of cat-cow to loosen up the back. With your inhale, drop the chest, drop the belly. Exhale, round and curl, tuck the tailbone under. Move in your own pace and what feels good in your spine. If you want to integrate some rolling from right to left and to the side,
feel free to explore that as well. We just use that to loosen up a little bit before we move to the next pose. And then you can come up. We're going to move into frog pose. I would suggest you to also have a pillow here. So the knees are wide and the heels are in one line with the knees. And then you can use your pillow to put it either underneath your belly and really rest your head. If it's too much that the heels are in one line with the knees, you can always bring them a little bit closer. Make sure that the hips are in one line with the knees. If you need more than one pillow, that's also good. Everyone has a different flexibility here. You can also play in the first minute a little bit with tucking and arching. For me, that always helps to release the inner groin and the lower back. And then my body feels or finds easier that natural position. You can also try squeezing your glutes and relaxing it. Just for the first minute. And then you find the position you can stay for the next minutes. And some of these poses are more challenging than the other ones, depending on where we feel restricted, what is more out of our comfort zone. Find a place where you can hang out, where you're feeling a stretch, but not so much that you ask yourself when this is over. And as we hold these poses longer, we have so much more time to work into the depth. There's no rush to get anywhere. Your body will do the work. As you allow your mind to soften, your body will naturally follow. And vice versa, as you soften your body, your mind allows the same. If you need to back up, back up. But also just stay with what you feel. Let your breath become deeper. Fully inhale from your lower belly through your chest and clavicles to the crown of your head. The exhale, reverse it like a balloon, inflating and deflating itself without trying to control or force it, but following with your focus. 5 more deep breaths here. Make them as full as you can. Before you lift your torso, bring your feet a little closer and then support yourself underneath the shoulders to gently come up. Slowly bring the knees together and come sitting all the way on your glutes. When we come back to the beginning as well, let the knees fall from right to left. Sometimes it also feels good to just shake them out. And then bring the right leg parallel with the front of the mat and the left to the back. So you have two 90-degree angles. The first in the front leg, the second in the back leg. Place your hands behind, next to the hips and do like some arch and hollow here as well, like sitting cat-cow, to just loosen up the hip. Maybe that's a big movement, maybe that's just a tiny movement. It should feel good, but it should allow your left hip to come a little bit more forward and find a little bit more range of motion here. Then you find a natural position where your spine is upright and straight, and maybe that's already enough. You want to keep your center over the front of your leg. If you feel like you have some space, you can walk forward, maybe come with your elbows down. You can also stretch the arms forward. What you want to avoid is that you want to collapse to the right side. If you feel like that's happening, you could also use your right pillow, place it under your right butt cheek and lean forward. That should be easier. You can use your pillow to just rest your head on it as well. Every pose is a chance to ask yourself where your comfort is. Maybe stay for 5 breaths in a more upright position and try to go down a little later when your body adjusted a little bit more to the pose. Wherever you are arriving, try to arrive fully. Let this pose be your friend for this present moment. Relax the outer glutes. Breathe fully into your belly. Let your mind just drift away There's nothing you have to figure out right now. Just be. Allow yourself to be in that space. Do you need exhales out of the mouth? Do you need to just slowly let the breath fade out? Feel the connective tissue on the outside of your hip, being the connection point between your lower back and your thigh. The longer we stay, the more deeper we work in all these layers of our ligaments and muscles. Maybe you even feel some tingling sensation in your leg. Maybe you wiggle the toes around if it's too much. To tell your leg that everything is fine. Let go with every exhale. Five more long breaths on this side. Stay with your inhale. Follow your exhale. And then as slow as you came into the pose, I want you to come out of the pose. Take a moment to sit up straight. Place the right hand next to you so you can take your left hand to your front knee and just gently twist over the right side. The stretch should increase in your left hip flexor a little bit, but also the twist feels kind of nice after a forward bend. Exhale, release and unwind. We're going to switch the legs. So bring the left leg to the front. Find your 90-degree angle here as well as in the back. Take a moment to arrive here by moving forward and backward, arch and round the lower back. Invite the right hip to move forward. You can also take the hand and really feel that rolling in the hip. And then orient yourself straight forward so your belly button is going in the midline over your leg. And take all the time you need to move into the position you want to work into. I always like to pause. Even though I know I can go all the way down, I like to give my body a moment to adjust, to feel where we're going to. And I can find my final stage. Wherever you arrive, just feel. Feel this moment. what is happening inside. And in our daily life, we often don't have the space to just stop and pause and feel how we really feel. But maybe this practice can teach you the tools to be reminded, so you can implement that into your daily life. You can find moments to pause and feel. Do you need to slightly open the mouth to release tension with your exhale? Can you relax the shoulders a little more? Often when we find ourselves in a deep stretch in our hips, our shoulders tend to tense up. We just transition from the hip joint into the shoulder joint. Let yourself drift further and further into that inner meditative state that's resting fully into this present moment. That's allowing to surrender. That is here to hold you with what is. Without predicting the future, without changing the past, just being here. Take 5 more deep breaths on this side. Take your time to come all the way up. Take a moment to just sit upright. And then take the right hand to the bend and the bent knee in the front, left arm back. Allow that lateral stretch from your left shoulder to your right hip to open. Push the right hip down, twist. And exhale, slowly unwind. Unwind the legs. You need to shake them out before we go into the next pose. And then you can take the feet together like we did laying on the belly, Baddha shape. And let's hold on to the heels and just move the legs up and down like butterfly wings for a moment. And then I want you to bring the heels so far away from you that you have one underarm distance away from your heels. And there are 2 options. You can either just hold onto the outside of the feet and maybe even bring the elbows in front, drop the head. You can also place a pillow here between your torso or what I like to do is also bringing my hands underneath the legs to the outside of the feet and let my head be nice and loose, falling forward, diving inward, holding yourself. Being in that space. How relaxed are your shoulders here? Let them go. Allow your belly to expand fully as you inhale. And our hips support so much there, our center of gravity. They align our spine on top of it. They build the foundation for our legs that we are standing on. We cannot take them for granted that they always support us. Take this practice to give something back. Consciously breathe into your hip joint and into your lower back. Maybe you feel in each pose what effect the pose has on you. Forward fold is always a space where we feel held within ourselves. We dive into our own being. How can you create space in your daily life where you connect with yourself, where you find that leaning onto yourself? Let's take 5 more long deep breaths here. Try to keep the face very soft. The jaw fully relaxed. The eyes, even though they're closed, keep them relaxed. Soft in your whole body.
Straighten the legs to the front, maybe windshield wipe the feet from right to left. Shake them out fast or slow, whatever feels good in your joints. And then we're going to transition to laying on our backs. So come all the way on your back. And take the right foot over your left knee, figure 4. And you can hold on to the back of the left thigh. If you feel like you have more room to work, you can grab onto the shin. But you should be able to keep the arms long. Not gonna stay too long here. But it's one of my favorite ways to work into the hips, as my spine is flat and I don't have to worry about my alignment so much. Take 5 more deep breaths here. And then keep the legs as they are, just release the grip. Place the left foot on the floor and let the constellation with the legs as they are just fall to the right side. You should feel a stretch going through your IT band and your hip and your shoulder. And you can keep the arms wide in one line with the shoulders. Don't have to hold on to anything here. Just 5 long breaths here as well. Inhale, find back through center. Cross the right leg over the left, and you can just bring the knees to the left side, the gaze to the right. Unwind your spine here. Give your body a nice twist without trying to pull. Let the weight of the legs pull you deeper into the twist. You can really find length with your inhalation. Maybe ground the shoulder a little bit more. Allow the body to soften with your exhale. Long breath. If you feel restricted in your breath, adjust the pose so the breath can flow. Three more deep breaths here.
Slowly come back up, bring the knees back to the center, unwind the legs, right foot is down, so the left ankle can cross over the right knee. Figure 4 on this side, maybe just grab behind the thigh or in the front of the shin. Keep the whole spine grounded. Breathe into the outer hip, left hip. Ground the whole spine. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Breathe into your outer hip. Then just release the hands from your right leg so the right foot can come down. And then let the knees fall to the left side, arms wide like a T. Let the lateral stretch line open. Inwards rotation for the hip. After we did a lot outwards rotation. That feels really nice. Ground the shoulders fully on the floor. You can bring the gaze to the right if you want a little deeper variation. Three more deep breaths here. Inhale, guide the legs back to center, cross the left leg over, and let the knees fall to the right side without trying to pull yourself deeper. Just let the legs do the work, bring the gaze to the left if you like. Ground your shoulders with every exhale a little bit more. Let any point of tension fade out of your body. Three more deep breaths here. knees back to the center of your mat. Take your hands to your knees, make some big circles here. Into the hip joint, both directions. At the same time, you're massaging your lower back. And then bring both knees into the chest. Grab around the front of the shins, pull your nose to the knees. Give yourself a hug. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Let yourself go into final resting pose, Shavasana. Feet are met with apart, palms facing up. Your whole body can rest in this final resting pose. Let the breath deepen even more. Start on your feet. Let the feet relax. Let the shins and the calves relax into the floor. Let the knees soften and relax. Let the thigh fully relaxed, held by the floor. Your hips, your center of gravity. Everything can relax right now. Feel the breath in your belly. Relaxing the belly and the lower back. Move up towards the chest, the rib cage. Feel the warmth of your heart traveling through your whole being. Relax the shoulders. Relax your upper arm, your elbows, your lower arms. Both of your arms from the shoulders to the fingertips, relaxed. Move up towards your neck. And your head. Relax the neck and the head, the face. Let your whole body rest in this final resting pose, Shavasana. Enjoy that inner refugee. That inner place of stillness.
Learn how to be still. Really be still and let life happen. What keeps you from stopping and being quiet? Observe that and counteract chaos by embracing stillness. You're welcome to stay as long as you like in the Shavasana. If you want to stay a little longer tonight, and if you have the time, please stay. Bring both of your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Guide your hands in front of your third eye center, your seat of intuition, to your lips for always speaking your truth, and back to your heart. Namaste.